Alright, for now, I found out the next thing, I think? Fuck, I forgot. God damn it. God damn it. What was it again? Shit. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright. Nope. Present. Alright. Finally, I can use the bloody safe. I'm very sorry, but Miss Hina and I could not have stolen the optical camouflage suit. You gotta be kidding me. How can you say that? You should know more than anyone else here, Miss Kawashiro. Huh? Whatever do you mean, Miss Shameimaru? It's simple. The safe in Miss Kawashiro's house is powered by electricity generated by a water wheel, but at the time of the incident, a gear had come loose, which means there was a power outage. What did you say? So what caused the gear to come loose in the first place? That is easily answered. In fact, Miss Kawashiro already explained why. It started to rain, correct? I did say that, but remember when Miss Hina and I left the room, it had already started raining. Do you follow me? Ah, you're right. What is she right about? No one but you two seem to understand the situation. Excuse us, Your Honor. As I mentioned before, there is a water wheel at Miss Kawashiro's house that is powered by a waterfall. As the power wheel turns, it generates electricity. However, when the current increases due to heavy rainfall, the water wheel turns too fast. This puts too much stress on the gears, and as a result, one will tend to come loose. And as no electricity was being generated, there was a power outage. It can't be. When Miss Hina and I left the room, it had already started raining. So Miss Kawashiro's house was without electricity, meaning at the time it would be impossible for Miss Hinawa to steal the optical camouflage suit. Ugh. If she couldn't have even opened the safe, it is inconceivable that Miss Hina and I was the one. Wait a minute. It wasn't impossible for her to steal it after all. What are you saying? Sure, there wasn't any electricity coming from the water wheel, but the backup battery still had a bit of power left. That must have been how she opened it. Besides, the clock on the safe stopped at 10:23. We started our game at 10, so that's perfectly reasonable. What? The battery ran out of power in the morning after I finished fixing Yomu's alarm clock, but the game didn't start until later at night, so it should have had time to recharge at least a little bit. Even if a half-day charge can only run a light bulb for a little while, the safe only needs a tiny amount of wattage to open and close. So Tenchi had another chance to steal my suit. May I say something, Miss Kawashiro? What is it? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by wattage. Oh, okay, it's just the amount of energy needed for something powered by electricity to move. Of course, the bigger the object, the bigger the wattage needed to operate it, but the safe only needs a tiny bit to open and close. So what you're saying is, I'm saying that even with the small amount of electricity stored in the battery, that was more than enough to open the safe. No way! It seems that the only thing that is out of power is your argument. If there was still electricity available when Miss Hina and I went to the storeroom, then it's still possible she's the culprit. Aya, aren't you going to do something? If there was something I could do... Huh, now to think about it, when we went to investigate the storeroom... nothing's happening. Oh yeah, that's because the electricity's out right now. That's right, the safe didn't work at all, so that means the battery is completely empty now. And the clock attached to the safe is too. Even if it was running off the battery, I don't think it would go through half a day's charge that quickly. If the safe can be opened and closed with just a tiny amount of electricity, the same can be set for the clock too. Maybe that's what Miss Hina and I meant earlier. It appears that there's no further. Please wait a moment, Your Honor. As I thought, it was impossible for Miss Hina and I to open the safe after all. That's because there was absolutely no electricity remaining in Miss Kawashiro's house. What makes you say that? I have evidence. The evidence that proves there was no electricity in the house is the cog, right? That's gotta be the cog. Another cog? That's evidence? Exactly. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Miss Kawashiro's house was without power. But how? I don't get it at all. Of course you wouldn't, Miss Kawashiro. Because as a matter of fact, I also don't get it at all. Don't look so bad when you say it. Oh, okay. That was trolling. That was so trolling. Oh, that was fucking trolling. That was fucking trolling. That was so fucking trolling. Because I don't even know myself. That is the evidence. Fuck me. Fuck me. I think it's the safe. I think it's the safe itself, right? The clock? Or am I wrong? Let me check. I think it's a safe. That's all I got right now. Nope. Okay. Nope. Hunt. Where did I mess up at? Okay. Nope. Maybe the room itself? Nope. I was just thinking because it's super... Nope, never mind. Tougher than I thought. Tougher than I thought. Okay, come on. I can do this. I got one more chance. I got one more chance to do this shit. I can do it. I can do it. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. There you go, the testimony. Miss Hinanai testified earlier that at the time of the theft, the light bulb was out. Oh, that's not because the power was out. It was just because the light bulb wasn't working. Why do you say the light bulb wasn't working? Because it went out all of a sudden while we were locking up our bets in the safe. Miss Kawashiro, the light bulb isn't just connected to the generator, is it? No, it isn't. It's just that there wasn't enough in reserve. And the reserve was a battery with only half a day's charge, right? Ah, yeah, I guess so. Which means that the light bulb going out wasn't because it was broken, because there was no more electricity. Therefore, the battery must have been empty. But there was still time until the rainstorm began. That should have recharged the battery enough. The safe in the storeroom has a clock attached to it. This clock constantly consumes electricity in order to operate. Miss Kawashiro, by your estimations, how long would the clock run on the electricity stored until the rain began to fall? About 5 or 6 minutes, I think. Then how much time would pass from when the rain started until Miss Hinanai left the room? About 10. Just what I wanted to hear. When Miss Hinanai left for the storeroom, the clock had already used up the electricity. So then it would have been impossible for the defendant to be the perpetrator after all. Miss Shameimaru, that's a rather absurd scenario. What do you mean by that? Think about it. Let's assume the rain started soon after the game began at 10 p.m. That means that once the water wheel broke, the clock only worked for another 5 minutes. So the clock should have stopped somewhere between 10:05 and 10:10. But the clock stopped at 10:23. Precisely, so how do you plan to explain this contradiction? Wouldn't that be because the criminal moved the hands on the clock? No, it's electrical, or whatever, it's whatever. It's not, is it? Is it a regular clock or is it like, no, it's, fuck, I got it right here. What does it look like, the clock? Analog clock, oh never mind, so that could be messed around, never mind. I was thinking it was like a regular electronic one. That, I don't know. By the way, the control panel for a clock is on the inside of the door, and without tools you can't change the settings at all. If you don't know what you're doing, it takes a while, mostly because you have to find the tools. Which makes your hypothesis very unlikely. The minute hand is off by almost 15 minutes, but what on earth does that mean? Aya, what are we going to do now? I believe there is one piece of information that we have mistaken as fact. Mistaken as fact? The answer to the contradiction in the clock dial lies. In the AM PM, this is my best guess right now. We're mistaken about which 10:23 the clock stopped. What just does that mean? The clock is an analog dial. It does not indicate AM nor PM. This means that it did not stop at 10:23 PM, but 10:23 AM. What is this nonsense? Did the witness open the safe at 10 PM? And the rain didn't start falling until past 10 as well. The power could not possibly have gone out in the morning. If the electricity stopped, so does the clock. However, was the electricity shortage merely the result of the water wheel breaking? What do you mean? The safe is powered by both the generator and the backup battery through a wire. But what would happen if this wire were removed? That's right, without a supply of electricity, the clock would stop moving. Which means that someone must have removed the wire in the morning. And that's when the clock stopped. Did you consider the possibility? Whatever the case may be, once the safe was closed at 10 PM, it was open 23 minutes later. And the only one who could have opened it was the defendant who had pretended to go to the restroom. Haven't we been claiming this for a while now? This proves the possibility of the presence of a third party. But that's still a mere possibility. You haven't proven it as fact. And all you have are some upset shogi pieces and a puddle of saliva at the crime scene. Ha! It is true I did not completely prove that. But there is someone who might be able to testify about the identity of the third party. What? This evidence shows there's someone with important testimony. Yomu's gotta be Yomu shit now. Near Miss Kawashira's house, we found a footprint belonging to Miss Kumpaku. Do you mean Miss Yomu Kumpaku? She was supposed to visit Miss Kawashira's house to reclaim her alarm clock. However, it appears she did not actually do so. So how could she have seen anything? She left a footprint, so she must have been nearby after it started raining. There is an extremely high possibility she knows something. I see. In that case, I shall end today's proceedings here. The prosecution shall summon Miss Kumpaku as a witness for tomorrow's trial. And the defense shall solve the mystery to the safe clock. Understood, Your Honor. Understood, Your Honor. Court adjourned. Alright, before we continue on, I'm going to reload and do all that shit for myself because I want to reclaim all of my 5 lives because right now I'm down to 2. And I could technically do without losing life because I YouTube it continually, but I like to try to do as much as I can before needing to, as you've noticed a bit more, so I want to try that. It's going to load it and I'll meet you guys back once it's done, okay? So, see you guys later.